Hello and welcome back to another episode of The Call Box. It's where you go for police info. And I'm your host, Lieutenant Vince Lewis, coming to you once again from beautiful downtown Phoenix, the police headquarters. And want to go ahead and right away introduce my special guest. Welcome back to the show, Senior PIO, Stacie Hainke.
Thank you.
Welcome back to the show. And you're in recruiting, right?
Yes.
Okay, you've been there for a while.
A couple years, yeah.
Yeah, right? So, but I mean, in your new position as Senior PIO, you're running the show.
Yeah.
And you handle recruiting for the entire police department, is that right?
Yes.
All positions, both sworn and professional?
Yep.
So let's start off with some good information. How are we doing?
We're doing great. We finished out 2025. We had over 5,500 applicants for sworn. We hired 252 new police officers and 157 lateral applicants.
So that's great news. Those are good numbers because out of 5,500 applicants, we got 252 that would have moved on to the academy.
Yes.
So there's a gap there. So help me understand, or help our viewers and listeners understand the process that the applicant goes through and how it is that we get from that one number to the next.
Yeah, so there's about 8 to 9 steps in our hiring process. The first is just going to our website, joinphxpd.com, and applying on our website. There's a link on there that says apply now. You click there, apply to be a police recruit, or if you're a lateral officer from another agency interested, we are hiring laterals. That'll take you to our city website, which is takes you to our eCRIS. That's where you will apply online with the city. The next step in the process would be your background investigation. We go through a polygraph, a drug test, and then a psych test. And so it's a lengthy process.
Mm-hmm. So there are some elements that might come up that would actually prevent somebody from making it all the way through the process.
Yes.
So, and you know, that we understand that. We've always understand that. But there's some difficulties that might come up too that don't necessarily disqualify you, but might become an obstacle. Do you hear any of the feedback you get from the applicants, either going through the process or having, left the process, about some of those obstacles that they would have to overcome?
So one of those is I forgot to say is the physical test that you have to go through. We just switched over to the PAT. We used to do the POPAT, which was the Peace Officers Physical Ability Test. We've now transitioned to the PAT, which is the Physical Ability Test. Mm-hmm. And so just being physically fit and being able to pass that test is an obstacle. Mm-hmm. But we have ways to get you through obstacles like that. We have a SWEAT program. It's success with effort and training. And about 2 days a week, you can go out to the Phoenix Police Academy, meet with our recruiters, and they put you through a workout. And then at the end of the workout, you get a chance to go through that physical fitness test, or the PAT test now, and try the different obstacles and things and practice those so you're prepared when you come out for your actual testing.
Okay, so there's definitely resources and assistance available for people who want to be successful in the process, because as well intended as they are, I want to be a police officer. Okay, well, there's a lot behind that, right?
Yes, for sure.
Yeah, so, but in addition to that, we can also talk about this after the break, some of the professional staff roles that we have too. Even if you're not out answering calls on the street, you might be taking those calls. You might be dispatching those people. You might be responding after the fact to take photographs or to help collect forensic evidence, or you might be able to, assist with a unit that's going to, operate some really cool tech or some advanced, information. We've got criminal analysts. We've got a ton of opportunities on the department. We're going to talk a little bit more about that when we come back from the break. But I also want to talk about some of the efforts that we have internally to help, make sure that we're including a good swath of the community as far as our roster goes. We definitely want to reach out to those people who might help us connect, not only with those families in those neighborhoods, but those groups that we want, that support us and that we want to have good representation with. So, Senior PIO Stacie Hainke joining us on the show today, talking about recruiting and updates and numbers, and we will be back right after the break. So stick around.
I'm a busy mom. I'm also a Phoenix police officer devoted to keeping our community safe.
I'm a Little League coach. And I'm a Phoenix police detective and a part of the team here too.
Find endless career options with one of America's best large employers.
All right, welcome back to the Call Box. We're talking with Senior PIO Stacie Hainke from recruiting. Tell us a little bit about the recruiting unit, your makeup, and your team. Tell us about that.
Okay, so we have a recruiting unit that's made up of recruiting officers and a recruiting sergeant.
Those are uniformed police officers that you'll see at a table or an event, right?
Yes.
Okay.
They also have a dispatcher actually that's with them that actually recruits for dispatch as well.
So we call those our communications operators.
Yes.
So, but our real quick side quest. That's where you came from. That's a
Yes.
good part of your background before you switched over. And our comm ops now are cross trained both 911 call takers and dispatchers.
Yep, and their correct title is police communications operator.
Okay.
So yes, they do take 911 calls, but also can answer radio or work the radio with the officers.
Okay, but you guys do a ton of social media too, right?
Yes, so that's one side of our unit, and then the other side of our unit is our marketing unit and social media. So it consists of myself and then my partner, Yahtzee Medina. She's our public information officer, and she handles most of the social media and helps with event planning and things like that.
And so we have some partnerships with outlets and venues and corporations and companies, things that are partnerships, but really it's just kind of an agreement that we can go there or work with them to kind of help recruit.
Yeah.
I don't know how much you can talk about that, but.
Yeah, so we have a great partnership with Grand Canyon University. We have a partnership with Arizona State University and Arizona Christian University. So we work very closely with those universities, go to events with them, host joint. Just recently we hosted Hometown Heroes at the GCU basketball game.
Oh, tell me about that.
It was awesome. We had one of our officers present the game ball to the coach before the game. Our honor guard presented the colors, and then one of our officers sang the national anthem, and it was a great turnout. We had some of our specialty details out on the lawn before the game, so anyone that attended the game that night, kids could go, jump through the armor and just get to know our officers a little bit better.
So you're talking about the armor. You're talking about the heavy armored vehicles, right?
Yep.
The stuff that our SWAT team, our special assignments unit,
Yep.
and drives around. That's incredible.
The robot dog was even there.
RoboDog?
Yes.
We got to get a funny suit for him or whatever. He needs some skin.
Yeah.
So, when you're at these events, you get approached by people, or people, you might reach out to people as they're going by. What do you think are some of the most frequently asked questions table side from the recruiters? Have you talked to them to hear that?
Yeah, so one question that we get quite often is how long is your process? I've heard there's outside agencies outside the state, and I don't know so much in-state, but they can be up to a year long. And with our process, we can get you in as early as 3 months.
Really?
It's kind of all dependent upon how quickly you get your documents, you apply. It's really all dependent upon the applicant in most ways.
So if you can, take me through, I see the post online to I'm graduating and my significant other is putting the badge on my uniform. Take me through that process.
So like I said, if you have your documents ready and you're responding to emails and in touch with your background investigator, sometimes they can get you in through as little as 3 months.
Because there's an extensive background investigation.
Yes.
And that's not your unit.
No.
But those real detectives and civilian investigators and specialists who go through pretty much every waking moment of your life that you can recall, right?
Yeah.
It's pretty exhaustive.
And one tip for that being just be honest. That's what gets people held up is they sometimes withhold information because they might be embarrassed about something. And the biggest tip that we can give someone is just tell the truth. Our background investigators have heard it all.
Yeah.
So something that might be significant to you is really nothing to them. So honesty is probably the biggest tip that we can give people.
Okay, so aside from that, we'll just call it the administrative part. There's a physical part, right?
Yep.
So how do I prepare for that?
So that's with our PAT, the physical abilities test. We just went to that from the POPAT. We have a SWET program. It's called Success with Effort and Training, and it's where you meet with recruiters twice a week, usually on Tuesdays and Wednesdays, and you can find those on our website to sign up. But you go out to the Phoenix Police Academy and work out with our recruiters, and then at the end of those workouts, then you have the ability to go through the PAT and just test yourself and see how well you'll do or what you need to work on. They give you tips and that kind of thing.
Okay, help me out. Let me see if I got this right. So we've got the written test.
No written test.
There's no written test?
No written
Okay,
test.
when did the change come around?
I would say that was about 2 or 3 years ago.
Wow.
Now. So yeah, all you have to do is apply online right now. And so there's not even a quote panel interview. They've worked that into your background process.
Okay, all right. So immediately you get working on your background, you gather up all your vital records and previous residences and employment and everything like that, give all of that, we take a look at it, and when you pass through there, what's next? You get a call to go do a medical and a psychological evaluation?
Yep.
Okay, so and that's conditional, right? So it's you're in once you get through those steps, and
Yep.
then they give you an academy date.
Yes.
Excellent. And the academy is how long? Do you know?
It's 26 weeks.
Okay, I think it's a little bit longer than it was when I went through, but there's so many more classes now that they touch on, and they do it so differently now.
And it actually just changed this week. So you're actually doing, used to have a pre-academy and an academy, but now we're just switching to an academy and a post-academy now. So you get through all of your AZ post requirements at the beginning of the academy, and then you'll go to our post-academy where you'll learn Phoenix-specific policies and that kind of thing.
Sure, yeah, because we do it differently. So let's talk about how we are going. So our police department one of our goals is to be representative of the community whom we serve. And that means that we need to reach out in specific ways to make sure that we're representative of the community. What are some of the efforts that your unit is doing to help us in that area?
So just recently we held a women's breakfast. It was in the beginning of December, and it was a really great event. It actually turned out to be way bigger than I thought it would be. We had about 28 women come out to our Estrella Mountain precinct and have breakfast with a handful of our officers, all the way from commander level down to recruiting officer. And it was meant to be just like come out and like learn about the job and what it's like to be a female in a male-dominated field, and just get to know our officers and see how they've, their moms, their sisters, wives, everything.
Yeah, it was a great event, right?
Yes.
Okay, so no, our goal is to have, in this case, female representation of about 30% by the year 2030.
Yes.
And the program is called 30 by 30.
Yes, and that's 30% in the academy.
In the academy, got it. Okay, great. Well, thanks for clearing that up. So, hey, PIO Stacie Hainke, Senior PIO Stacie Hainke, thank you for that information. Real quick, where do I go for more?
JoinPHXPD.com is our website. And then for sure follow us on social media at JoinPHXPD as well.
Okay.
We're on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube.
Yeah, perfect. And we'll learn about where you're going to be next.
Yep.
All right, excellent. Well, thanks a lot for coming on. I want to thank the crew for producing. Remind you, the listener, that you can catch the video versions of these shows on our YouTube channel. And again, as always, you too can help solve crime in your community by sending tips to Silent Witness. Visit silentwitness.org and call 480-WITNESS. Go to joinphxpd.com. We're hiring. And until next time, be safe out there.